How has the predecessors, how have they spoken about the book of Allah? Listen to the words of Ali ibn Abi Talib, a relative of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, one of those many companions who saw with his own eyes the revelation of the Quran, who lived and died upon the Quran. How would he describe the Quran? Listen to these beautiful words. Imam al-Tirmidhi narrates them in his Jami'. He said, "It is the book of Allah. Within it is the news of the people before you, and information about things that's going to come. And it settles the disputes between you. It is that criterion between right and wrong. And the Quran," he said, "is not a joke. It is that book, whenever it is neglected by a tyrant, Allah Almighty will break him. And whoever seeks guidance in other than the Quran, Allah will make him go astray. For it is the firm rope of Allah. And it is that wise reminder from Allah. And it is the straight path of Allah. And it is that book which can never be distorted by desires. Nor can tongues ever twist when reciting it. Nor do the scholars ever quench from it. And nor does it ever become dull because of frequent repetition. Nor do its wonders ever cease. It is that book when the jinn heard it being recited, they said, 'We have just heard an amazing recitation.' Whoever speaks through the Quran has spoken the truth. Whoever judges by the Quran, he is just. Whoever acts upon the Quran is rewarded. And whoever calls to the Quran has been guided to a straight path." Listen to the words of Ahmad ibn Abi al-Hawari, who died in the year 230 after the Hijrah. Ahmad ibn Abi al-Hawari, he would say, "Inni la aqra'u al-Qur'ana fa anzuru fi ayatin ayah." Sometimes I recite the Quran and I pause at it, ayah by ayah. And I am amazed, he said, when I think about those men and women who have memorized the Quran. How is it that they are able to sleep at night? And how is it that they can do anything else in life? When they are reciting the words of Ar-Rahman, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, by Allah, if they realized what they were reciting, and they appreciated who was the one who sent it, and they experienced the sweetness of praying at night and calling upon Allah, using it, all sleep would depart from their eyes because of the happiness that Allah Almighty has gifted them with. Malik ibn Dinar from the Tabi'in, who died year 127 after the Hijrah, he said about the Quran, "By Allah, I swear, anybody who truly appreciates the nature of the Quran will find his heart crumbling to pieces because of amazement." And then you look at the scholars who dedicated their whole lives to the Quran. What were their final words before they died? Their words were sighs of regret. We wish we didn't waste our time with other than the book of Allah. They were scholars of the Quran, dear brothers and sisters. Look at their last words. Imam Sufyan al-Thawri, the great Imam of Hadith, who filled the whole world with his knowledge, what were some of his last words before he died? He said, "I wish I had limited my whole life to the Quran." Look at the words of Imam Ibn Taymiyyah rahmatullahi alayhi before he died. He didn't even have time to get married because he was so busy with the Quran. His brother would have to remind him to change his clothes because he didn't realize they were dirty. They needed to change them. Too busy with the Quran. What did this man say before he passed away? He said, "I have regretted," he said, "wasting my life on other than the meanings of the Quran." La ilaha illallah.